welcome back. Today for writing, we're going to be talking about writing true stories again. We're going to review some things that we talked about last week and talk about a few new things to make your stories better. So just as a reminder, whenever we are writing a true story, your story has to actually be true. It can't be a made-up story. It needs to be a true story, something that has happened to you. And remember, in your story, we want to know three big things. We want to know who was there, where were you, and what were you doing? And if you remember, last week I said, I'm giving you the challenge. I want you to try to use speech bubbles in your writing. So here is me on the swing, and I'm saying, whee! And I have that exclamation mark because I'm super excited about swinging. Okay, so this is all part of writing true stories. And if you remember, we talked about using a storyteller's voice. We're going to talk about that a little bit more today as we go back and we work on my story a little bit more. So, whenever we are getting started with our writing, the very first thing is we need to think. Think about something interesting that you want to write about. It can be a big thing, like you could write about your whole day, or you could write just about a small little moment, something in your day that has happened. So find something interesting that you want to write about. The next part is to write. So first we think of our idea. We think about what we want to write about, and then we start to write. Okay, what I want to talk to you about today is that after we are done with our writing, we think that we're done for the day, we're going to talk about revising and editing. Those are very fancy words. If you look here, I drew a little picture of a plus sign and a minus sign, which means that we're going to add stuff to our story, and sometimes we even have to take stuff away. Today we're going to be talking about adding more to our story, about revising it. So I'm going to write down the word revise. Revise. Okay, so before I get started revising, I'm going to need a very special tool. That tool is my pencil. Now you guys may not know this, but your pencil is your magical tool. You can use this side for writing, but when you're all the way done, you can flip it, and this makes the perfect pointer. So you can point and reread your writing and see, did I use a storyteller's voice? Did I add all the details that I could have added? And you can go back and make changes if you need to. I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a minute. So, really quickly, I'm going to show you, my daughter Liara helped me color in some of my pictures. If you're in my classroom, I always say, when you're done, you've just begun, which means that if you think you're all the way done, I want you to go back and add some colors, some more details. So here, when I was writing about making donuts, I went back and I colored. Over here, it's right in front of me actually, I have the very old antique couch, and it's kind of a reddish color, so I colored the couch that color. My walls are gray. Here I colored in our kitchen cabinets. Here we colored us and the table. I made sure that I tried to keep our hair color the same. We did our skin color. Here I went ahead and added a speech bubble. So I already had this speech bubble where Connor says, we can make donuts, but here I said, what can we do? Because before Connor said that, I asked him, what do you want to do today? I was like, what can we do? And he said, we can make donuts. Okay, so I'm going to show you in 1 minute how we can add a little bit more to this and really revise it and make it a little more interesting. Talk to you in a minute. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you how we're going to revise my story about making donuts. So, just as a reminder, last week I was saying Connor wanted to make donuts. We worked together on this part. It said, we worked together to make donuts. And then we had donuts for a yummy snack. So my first step when I went back and I was trying to revise and add more detail to my story, I went back and I added color. So I added our skin color, hair color, the color of things around our house. I tried to keep it as real as possible, and Leah kind of helped me color a little bit. But now we need to revise and add some more words so that our story sounds a little bit more interesting. So the first thing I wanted you to notice is last week I only had a speech bubble for Connor. He said, "We can make donuts." And then I was thinking, well, I asked him first. I said, "What can we do today?" And since what was our popcorn word last week, I felt like I was an expert at the word what. So I added that word. What can we do? What can we do? And he says, "We can make donuts." So then I was thinking about, I could make the beginning of this story a little bit more interesting. Right now it just says, Connor wanted to make donuts. But when I open a story, sometimes they usually start with a really nice beginning, like saying one day or once upon a time or something like that. So I was thinking that I would start by saying one day. Now, I don't have a lot of space right here, but I do have a little bit of space up here at the top. So I'm going to write it a little bit smaller. I'm going to write one day and see if it sounds a little bit better. When I go back and revise, sometimes I use a different color just so I can go back and see what changes that I made. So I'm going to write the word one. The word one is very tricky. It is not spelled the way that it sounds. One, finger space, day. Let's see how that sounds. One day, Connor wanted to make donuts. I think that adds a nice detail. You cannot really tell that this one is a capital, so I'm going to try to make it a little larger. One day, Connor wanted to make donuts. Okay, let's see what we can add on our next page. I said, we worked together to make donuts. I wonder what else I can add. I could talk about the things that we put in the donuts. You know what? We actually put our donuts in the oven. Some donuts you fry up, but we put our donuts in the oven. So maybe I could say we worked together to make donuts. And we could say we rolled them out and put them in the oven, or we made them into circles and put them in the oven. Trying to think. I think I want to say we made them into circles and put them in the oven. So I'm going to start off with a capital. I'm going to scoot my paper up a little bit. There we go. I'm going to start with a capital because I'm starting a new sentence. We made. Here's that magic E that we're going to talk about. Makes Mr. A say his name. We made the donuts. Remember, we already spelled the word donuts, so I don't have to start from scratch. We made the donuts. Nuts. We made the donuts into, and the lucky thing about the word into is that it's two popcorn words put together. So I'm going to leave a finger space and write the word in first. In, and then the word to. Into. We made the donuts into circles. Ooh, circles is a tricky word. All right, ready? We're going to have to sound it out. We made the donuts into circles. We made the donuts into circles and put. Put is actually a tricky word too. You would not believe this, but it's an uppy umbrella in the middle of that word. Sounds like the Ooh brothers. We made the donuts into circles and put them, TH, the M. We made the donuts into circles and put them in the, and then we need to write the word oven because we put them in the oven. N. Make it a little bit small. And I'm just going to put a period at the end because I'm done with my sentence. Boop. There we go. All right, now let's reread the whole thing and see what you guys think. We worked together to make donuts. We made the donuts into circles and put them in the oven. All right. Then our last page, it says, we had donuts for a yummy snack. I don't know if I'm going to add anything to this page. I might just say the end. Why not? The end. So now we're going to reread it together and see if it sounds a little bit better, if it sounds like I'm saying this in more of a storyteller's voice. One day, Connor wanted to make donuts. What can we do? We can make donuts. We worked together to make donuts. We made the donuts into circles and put them in the oven. We had donuts for a yummy snack. The end. Yum. Or I guess I should say yum, because I used all capitals and 3 exclamation marks because we thought they were especially yummy. So what I want you to do is you can go back today and go back to something that you've already written and see if you can make it a little bit better. Maybe you can give it a good beginning. Maybe you can add some details like showing where you were, what you were doing, maybe who else was there, those speech bubbles. But go back and revise. Add some details to make your story more interesting and make it sound like a story using that storyteller's voice. Okay, guys, thank you so much for working with me today and helping me sound stuff out. Remember to find a really comfortable place and to get started on your own writing. Good luck. Bye.